Hi, this is Ryan Smith and Brian Klug from nontech.com. We're here at the Microsoft Build Conference where they're currently showing off Windows 8 in the pre-beta state. We have in our hands here a Samsung pre-development tablet being handed out to the press and developers to try out the current version of Windows 8. So first thing we're going to do is to boot it up here. This is using Microsoft's new fast boot technology for Windows 8. What they're doing is hibernating the kernel and only shutting down user apps, which means that it's simply restoring the kernel from hibernation and then loading the user-land applications it needs to get going. So as you can see, it's already up and running. Drag it up there. We have a login screen. We're using a Bluetooth mouse and keyboard, so this is emulating the desktop experience as it stands. I'd like to remind everybody that this is a pre-beta, so things are subject to change. Alright, so the first thing you see here is the Windows Metro screen. It's very similar to Windows Phone 7.5. Metro is not just a look, it is effectively a whole new set of APIs called WinRT. So the Metro Start screen here is an example of what Metro applications are intended to look like. We'll start quickly here with Internet Explorer. Already have the non-tech page loaded. Unfortunately, we're on a hotel Wi-Fi at the moment, so speeds are a bit slow, but as you can see, Internet Explorer is chugging along loading things. Some things that have changed. We're using a mouse and a keyboard here to keep the view clear, but this is ultimately a tablet UI. We are using a tablet computer after all, so no bars to be seen. In this case, we right-click. We'll see that tabs have now gone up into this area up at the top. URL bars down here at the bottom, and then we can also go through there through pinned previous sites, pinned sites, etc. to take a look at other sites. Now if we go back to the start screen, so this is the Windows desktop. Microsoft has said that the Windows desktop as we know it is now part of Metro. So when we do go to the desktop here, what we're actually seeing is just another window inside the Metro start screen. The start menu, as you know, it is gone, being replaced by the Metro start screen. What you see here are what Microsoft calls charms. You'll see these all over the UI, not just here. When you're on the desktop, everything effectively functions as if it were Windows 7 PC. Now we'll bring up another application here, Microsoft's RSS feed application. One interesting thing to note, tablet computer, you take the analogy here a bit farther, Metro applications don't close. When we are switching from one application to a next here, they are staying active. And we're simply going back to the home screen to play with other applications. Now, so far we've been playing with a mouse and a keyboard, but this is a tablet computer, so let's try some touch. As you can see, it's very smooth here. The hardware is a Core i5 ultra-low voltage processor, so Intel HD 3000 graphics. Single core speed goes up to 2.3 GHz turbo, so there's a lot of power under the hood. With touch, again, it's effectively exactly what you'd expect a tablet to work like. Pull up chess here. Okay, so here we are, Internet Explorer inside of Metro. As you can see, it's a lot like any other tablet or cell phone in terms of controls. Pinch to zoom, scroll down. Here's where things start getting different with respect to how Windows does other controls. If we slide to the left here, we see what Microsoft is calling the charms, effectively the start button / back button, plus other buttons, searching for text, other websites. Settings for Internet Explorer. You really won't find very many settings, at least in this current build of Internet Explorer. Sharing, there's built-in sharing capabilities as part of the WinRT API. New feature called Contracts, which allows applications to specify services they offer, and then other applications, when they need a service, can go through that list and we'll get a list of applications to work with. So for example, Socialite and Tweetorama specify that they offer sharing capabilities, so when Internet Explorer wants to go to share something, it goes to the list and gets one of those two applications. And so here we could put a tweet in the URL for this page would be attached. Now if we scroll left, this is Microsoft's method of doing fast application switching for Metro. Every time we go left, we will switch between an active application within Metro. And if we scroll down inside Internet Explorer, we'll see the tabs. One big thing in Windows 8 is going to be the store. As you've heard, Microsoft will be implementing an app store similar to Apple's Mac Store or the app stores you'll find on other cell phones or tablets. Unfortunately, the current version of the store is not working. As you see, it's coming soon. We have seen it in action in Microsoft's conference. It is about what you expect. Microsoft will offer applications for sale. For the ARM applications, and this is going to be important, ARM applications will only be offered through the store, whereas traditional x86 and x64 applications can be purchased at the store or loaded through traditional methods. The store will have trial features, so users can try an application for as many days as the developer allows, using Microsoft's various DRM schemes. If we go to Control Panel, this is what the Control Panel looks like. Very touch-oriented. We can do some personalization options, change our background, various wireless settings. One thing of note, mobile broadband has been promoted to a first-class wireless service alongside Wi-Fi and Bluetooth. If the hardware features mobile broadband, you'll have the option here to turn it on or off, and it will fall back to mobile broadband as Wi-Fi is available. Various notification methods, general settings. Not everything is available in this touch control panel, at least not at this point in time. A lot of settings are still only available in the traditional control panel. This is something that I'm expecting we'll see change at least a bit with the final version. Not everything is going to be available via touch. Windows 8 is going to be both Metro and traditional desktop. The desktop won't be completely replaced, at least not with Windows 8. Now if we bring up Explorer here, you can see the much talked about ribbon. The ribbon is necessary here because since we're using a touch interface, we don't have clicks to work with and menus would be difficult at best. Go through here just as we would. You can select something. There are checkboxes, so you can make multiple selections. Since again we don't have click drag capabilities. Selection. Bring up file properties. Now it's interesting to see how they've done this because there's no right click option, and since Windows is very right click intensive, everything that previously was available as a right click needs to be available in the ribbon. Yep, that's all. Alright, final thing we're going to show you, Task Manager. Task Manager has been overhauled for this version. Let's quickly launch an application here. By default, Task Manager is fairly simple. It only shows you a list of applications and then gives you the ability to end them. So there we go, we've forced Firefox to quit. Now if we bring down more details, we get something resembling the old Task Manager. This is the default view for processes. It divides processes up into different classes. Windows background processes, standard background processes that may go with other applications, and then active applications. The performance tab has been completely redone. The individual CPU graphs are gone. In place of that, we have one combined graph going to 100%. This brings in a lot of the features from the old performance monitor from Windows 7. App history here is an interesting one. This is only for Metro applications, and it gives you an idea of how much CPU time and memory these applications have been using when they're active. So this is actually a list of every Metro application currently installed on this unit. As you can see, most of them have consumed very little time, and then other ones here have some memory usage and some bandwidth usage. Startup controls are also available here in the new Task Manager. If we had anything set to start up with Windows, it would be available here. msconfig is still available if you need a little more power. Users detailed view, which is closest to the old Task Manager view, and then status. Alright, I think that should do it.